Workers are dying in Florida's heat, and Costa Farms rallied against the law that could have protected them. Cheap, rare houseplants. We all love them. But what's the real cost behind that attractive price tag? Is it just cheap soil and fertilizer, poached plants, or excessive waste? Or is the hidden cost far more serious? Today, we're diving deep into the darkest side of the houseplant world, exposing a problem the industry doesn't want you to see. Florida is not just America's hottest state. It also leads the country in heat-related illnesses. On May 5th, 2021, tragedy struck at Costa Farms, the world's largest ornamental plant grower. A 43-year-old employee was spacing and sorting plants outdoors when he passed out and became unresponsive. Officially, the death was not classified as work-related, but it shines a harsh light on a dark reality. Florida outdoor workers face deadly conditions every summer. Costa Farms dominates the ornamental plant market with over 4,000 acres worldwide and 5,000 employees. Their plants fill the shelves at Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, and Amazon. Their success is undeniable, but at what cost? In 2017, another worker at Costa Farms died from a fall, highlighting a troubling pattern. By 2024, Costa Farms found itself on the National Occupational Safety and Health's notorious Dirty Dozen list of unsafe employers, right alongside Uber, Lyft, SpaceX, and the Waffle House. Why? Because executives at Costa actively lobbied against a law designed to protect workers from extreme heat.
That would have required outdoor employers to provide a 10-minute rest break every 2 hours of work.
Each time, their effort was blocked by industry trade associations and Republicans. Activists devised a different strategy to pass legislation to protect workers in 2023. They decided to try to pass the heat protections locally in Miami-Dade County, the largest county in the state, and home to more than 300,000 outdoor workers. Large trade associations lobbied Republican state legislators to intervene. The heat bill didn't pass. Republicans pushed through a different law, blocking local governments from establishing heat protections for workers.
Florida lawmakers passed a bill this session that would outlaw local mandates meant to protect workers from extreme heat.
It went into effect in July 2024.
Florida currently has no state-level heat illness prevention measures beyond OSHA's general federal standards, which provide no specific numerical temperature thresholds or mandatory rest periods. The danger in Florida is when temperature combines with humidity, and the body's no longer able to cool itself, even at rest, creating lethal conditions. Worker advocates have reported unsafe conditions at Costa Farms, including insufficient access to water, hazardous chemical exposure, and fear of retaliation for speaking out. The Miami Herald's Ashley Misnazi has been openly critical of Costa Farms' practices. Costa invited the Herald down after passing the bill that would stop any county or city from creating heat safety regulations. 2 workers reported they only received heat safety information on the day the Miami Herald journalists were scheduled to visit their facility in 2024. Even in Paige Johnson's recent vlog and visit to Costa Farms, she expressed discomfort observing Costa Farms' working conditions, even outside peak heat periods. Unfortunately, the practices she shows are standard for the industry, but that doesn't make them right. Ariana Cabrera de Oña, Costa Farms' chief people officer, publicly labeled the Miami-Dade protections as overreaching and anti-business. Yet in 2023, Miami recorded its hottest summer ever, followed by deadly heat indexes of 115 degrees Fahrenheit in 2024. Costa Farms CEO co-authored an op-ed with a construction billionaire about how new regulations would cripple their industry and how they already take good enough care of their workers. But unfortunately, Costa Farms isn't alone. Big businesses from all angles were pushing against these outdoor protections. Alongside 4th-generation sugarcane farmer Rick Roth, this Miami-Dade County legislation made all farmers nervous.
Rick Roth co-sponsored the bill preempting Miami-Dade County. He also represents Belle Glade, the city where Salvador Espitia collapsed in the field.
Is there something wrong with mandating a 10-minute water break every 2 hours?
To mandate it, yes. I do think it's wrong. We don't want local governments setting their own standards. It's not the local government's job.
Should the state of Florida pass heat protections for outdoor workers?
Here's my thought on that, because I do a lot of research on climate change and other factors. My knowledge base says no, that things have not changed that dramatically, like the news media wants you to believe, that we're going through a cataclysmic temperature increase.
Even if there was the hottest day recorded on planet Earth was just the other day. I mean, and that we know is just a fact.
I think it's overblown.
Do you have sympathy for these workers and for what they're asking for?
Yes, of course I do. I have sympathy that they would like to have easier working conditions. That doesn't surprise me. Why wouldn't you ask for the government to do more? Hey, we don't want to work so hard. We want to take breaks. We get paid by the hour, but we want to take more breaks. We don't want to work so hard.
I would challenge Representative Roth to come spend a day as a farm worker.
United States Sugar Corporation and Florida Crystal gave nearly $2 million to the Florida Chamber of Commerce just in 2024. They lobby tens of millions of dollars across the state, even after the 2023 death of Salvador Garcia, a 26-year-old father who collapsed after his 4th working day in the Florida sugarcane fields.
His kidneys failed and he died of heat stroke. This is the medical examiner's report for Salvador Garcia Espitia. And I was just wondering, as a doctor, is there anything that stands out to you when you're looking at this?
Core body temperature 109 degrees Fahrenheit. That is shocking.
109.
That is shocking. We see the danger and the breaking down of all the organs by 107. And he's already at 109.
Did he have to have a prior medical condition for his core body temperature to reach 109?
Absolutely not. Young, healthy people can die from heat stroke.
Utilizing the H-2A visa program, Salvador Garcia was legally working on a sugarcane field when he passed out and was later pronounced dead. Unfortunately, this story is not that uncommon and hits many different industries. But who helped pass this dangerous legislation?
Hi, I'm Tiffany Espazito, President and CEO of Southwest Florida, Inc.
That's Tiffany pitching a regional Florida Chamber of Commerce as the CEO while being the elected representative of the 77th District of Florida. Her ties with the Florida Chamber of Commerce are obvious and deep. She'll have no problem raising hundreds of thousands of dollars from local businesses and PACs across Florida, including the Florida Growers and Landscape Association. On November 14th, an email was sent by her colleague Carolyn at the Chamber of Commerce, and attached to this email was a Word document of the exact legal text that would be put into the coming House bill, nearly verbatim. The day after receiving this email, Tiffany received 10 $1,000 donations from political action committees and various Florida businesses. Naturally, one of Tiffany's biggest donors was the Florida Chamber of Commerce, and various political action committees, aka PACs, and businesses around the state. Tracing payments of PACs to PACs, back to politicians, and then back to PACs makes the origin of the money very difficult to uncover, naturally. As a consumer, I know you feel powerless sometimes, but you can vote with your dollars. All together, we make an impact. You can choose where to spend your money. Find a small plant business that does their own propagations to spend your money with. And Costa Farms, please don't send Justin in here to defend these actions. Justin, I know we have a working relationship, and I think you're a good guy, but this is beyond you. I've seen your canned Reddit replies to these issues, so let's address them one by one. Yes, the tragic death on Costa's property in 2021 was deemed not work-related, but the fact is, Costa Farms stood against regulations that would give workers specific breaks when it got too hot outside. These regulations would have made it safer for farm workers, and your company stood against them. And if you say the regulations weren't worded correctly, go to the negotiating table. I know your workers are encouraged to take breaks when they feel they need it, but that's not how humans behave. We need speed limits on the freeways. We sometimes need to be mandated to rest, especially with heat stroke symptoms coming on quickly. And it's great to hear you've hired an on-site nurse. Do more of this. Work with K-Calor to figure out what exactly the workers need. They aren't asking for 401ks and ping pong tables. They want shade, water, and signs in both languages. Take care of your people and make sure they feel taken care of. And you're right, this ordinance would have only affected Miami-Dade County and only agricultural and construction employees. But that's a start. It could have pioneered statewide change in the future for all outdoor workers. You can do better. Look to Swerdlow Group, a developer in Miami that has the backing of WeCount to make summertime construction in hot Miami safer. And if you prefer a state set of regulations, push for them. Talk about a good look in the plant community. Imagine doing the right thing and being able to make money from it. Will your costs go up and eat a fraction of your hundreds of millions of dollars of sales? Yes, of course. But if we can save one more kid from growing up without a dad, that's a worthy cause. Thank you to the supporters of videos like this, our channel members and subscribers. I was very hesitant to make a video like this. I even cut a sponsor out of the video due to potentially tying them to this topic. But the truth matters more than anything else, and I hope you can continue to count on us to come and talk about it. Rest in peace to the field workers, postal workers, roofers, construction workers, and anyone else who's perished simply trying to make a living outdoors for their family and live their dreams. If you can, I urge you to go support small plant business and check out WeCount and Que Calor. This is a battle of money. The links are down in the description.
Beneath the leaves where shadows